Good morning, everyone. My name's Andres Felipe Pacheco Perez. I am from Armenia, Quindío. I live in Medellin right now at Santa Lucia neighborhood. I am 33 years old and I'm a bachelor in modern languages from Quindío University. And I'm also a master. I also hold a master's degree in second language learning and teaching processes from Universidad Pontificia Bolivariana. Just to say something about myself and like to create like a personal presentation, I consider myself a very proactive person. I am a very disciplined teacher who is a very responsible person and who cares a lot for the students' learning process. I am also very passionate for what I do. I feel a lot of passion about teaching. I felt it from when I was a kid, and I am also very enthusiastic when I'm going to teach my classes. I feel very happy. It's just something that I was meant to do in my life. I feel vocation for it, and it's effortless in me, like to be teaching. That's something like I could describe myself. Um, to talk a little bit about my experience uh, and my level of English, I would say that I have a C1 to C2. I recently took a test that I can send to you. It's called CAT test or something. I am going to send it to you so you can see it. I got 78, and from 71 you got C2. So at that test I got C2, and I have also a C1 in this test called aptis for teachers. That is a specialized test for teachers that certifies that the teacher is able to have a good level of English like C1. Those are the two current exams that I have right now. Um, I have also, in the past, they are not valid right now because they expired. I have presented the Michigan, and the TOEIC, the TOEFL, and many others, but they are expired, as I said. Now, to talk a little bit about my experience as a teacher, I graduated like 10 years ago, exactly in 2011. I began to work for one of the most relevant universities in Medellin called EAFIT. I started working there at the university even before graduating because I went to a contest in which the winners from that contest were hired for the job, and I was one of the people who won the contest and got the job. Then I have worked for SENA for about 9 years already, for the National Institute for Vocational Education in Colombia, that is very well known here. And I have worked for some other places like Magisterio, which is public schools here in Colombia, for about like 2 or 3 years. I have worked for some universities, for some private and public universities here. I have all the certificates in my CV that I'm going to send you. And something that is very characteristical from myself is that I have always had many jobs at the same time, as well as I have the time for doing so. For example, Sena is a virtual job that I have. I am a virtual instructor for Sena, and that allows me to have like available schedule for taking another job. And I have always been able to take 2 or 3 jobs at the same time as long as they don't interfere with each other in schedule, and that at the same time I'm able to cope with the responsibility. Sometimes the jobs are difficult and I cannot like take 2 or 3 at the same time, but when I can, I do it, and I feel that I'm responsible enough for doing so. So during all these 10 years, I have had like not only one, but 2 or 3, even 4 jobs along the years. Um, right now, I'm working for Sena. I have started the contract again like 2 days ago, but that is virtual. Virtual means that I have complete availability of time for taking another job because that job is they require my connection, my internet connection, but it can be any time. It can be in there in the early morning, in the afternoon, or at night, or whatever. What I want to, when I want to connect. And that's about my experience. I have worked for private universities, for public universities, for Magisterio, which is national schools, for SENA, which is National Institute for Vocational Education, and for some institutes like private institutes and public institutes as well. Practically every single sector of education for second languages I have worked for. Well, I love to teach English for a very simple reason. I discovered that a long time ago when I was going to teach my first class and I was going to work for the first time after graduating, that I had like a 10 hour, no, like a 9 hour day schedule for the first day. When I entered the classroom, I was saying to myself before beginning, oh my God, this is going to be long. But when I entered the classroom and began to teach my first class, and when it all finished, the 9 hours, I was like I was in the first one. What I'm trying to say is that for me, when I teach English, it's like timeless. I don't care about the time. I mean, like, I don't care about the time, like counting the time for living. It doesn't happen to me. I just feel like I'm doing what I wanted to do for my life. I found in English a place to have a job without really having it. To have like a job that I enjoy and that I feel happy with, and that I don't feel the pressure about leaving, and that I don't feel the pressure about that I have to do it just because I have to get money. No, I do it because I like to do it, and it's my job and I love it. I also like to. I also love to teach English because I feel like I'm helping my students to accomplish a great goal of their lives. And as long as I can participate in that part of the process, I'm doing uh, my best as a teacher, and I feel very, very honored to be one of the most important parts of my students' lives, and I cannot feel any prouder about that. I managed to keep motivation in students in my classes with a very simple method. I just change activities. I use the four skills to develop many activities about a specific topic. Let's say that I am teaching a present simple, but I don't teach it like I say. We're going to learn today present simple. No, I don't do that. I begin to create many different activities. Let's say one activity is to simulate that you're going to have a conversation on the phone. Then another activity is some student has to create like a dialogue in which the student is going to communicate through the phone that her mother is dead to his relatives, but he has to write it. Then some other activities are created that involve maybe phone calls. That is the topic. But what I do is I keep doing different things using the four skills. I don't repeat activities. For example, in one class, I have a writing activity, a speaking activity, a listening activity, and a reading activity. But I try to do them different so the student doesn't feel that he's repeating activities, because that's what gets students bored. I do that, and I also find support in using games and in like doing interactive and movement activities that students like a lot, and that way I go like to, let's say, do very uh, interactive and fun classes so they don't get bored. That's my specialty.